Самая сильная с начала века метель.
Этот день войдет в историю метеонаблюдений. Снегопад в столице оказался
В Москву обрушился самый сильный снегопад этой зимы.
Начавшийся в Москве снегопад может стать, конечно, самым мощным за последние 70 лет. Об этом сообщают метеорологи.
Yes, and we were lucky enough to choose this very day for our shootings. But we can't get back home now. It's terrible for our cameras, but the snowy picture is awesome, isn't it? So get comfortable, my friends, and we will try to show you today quite curious piece of equipment. Let's go! Hi guys, as usually it's me, just a voiceover, and you're watching Review Machines. The idea of this video occurred to me when I was looking through the AliExpress. I found there a Rio Winter Transport electric fat bike with 350 watts motor. It looks quite well, besides there was some positive feedback, but the most important, it's probably the cheapest electric fat bike on the market. Its price is only about $500. It seems a good deal, take my money. And now here it is. Let me introduce it to you guys. Meet the electric fat bike Lebron. And you know, first our impressions are not so bad. I like how it looks. Quite solid and reserved. Stylish silver paint. No bright colors. It produces an impression of more expensive thing. Unlike many other Chinese bikes, there are so few stickers on it. Only the painter. And its name Lebron. By the way, I don't know why it is called so. To be frank, if you look at it closer, the welding seams leave much to be desired, but the general look is decent, isn't it? By the way, we had one more idea. As we were going to make some winter tests, we wanted to attach studs to the tire tread, and even bought some of them. But unfortunately, it turned out the studs are too long, and they may puncture the tires. That is why we had to abandon this idea. But how do you like this? 2 sets of keys with a Rio anti-theft system, and we found out how it works. Let's turn on the alarm system and leave the bike. Meantime, some quite a suspicious fellow seems to be going to steal our Lebron bike. It's time for the alarm system. Well, probably an anti-theft cable would have been more effective. Now let's have a closer look at the bike. It's rear drive, the power of the motor is 350 watts. The battery is lithium, 36 volts and 10.8 ampere hours. The battery is detachable. The wheels are rather suitable for winter riding. They are 26 inch with a good ride tread. All the bike gear seems to be quite durable. But they are Chinese no-name, though it isn't surprisingly at all, taking into account the price of the bike. On the handlebar there is, so to speak, an ignition, and the display with proper info. It's quite bright, with pleasant blue lights. The frame is made of steel, hardtail type, without rear suspension. At the front there is a cheap suspension, but don't expect much from it. The light, the seat, fenders and other stuff are standard, and aren't worth of our attention. Well, the snowfall is getting harder, so it's high time to start our tests. By the way, guys, we even invited a special man, who is a shrewd judge of any fat bikes. Meet the Fat Man. Fat bike. Fat Man. How do you like our sense of humor, guys? Now the Fat Man needs some time to prepare himself for the real test. Meantime, if you don't mind, I started myself not to waste time. Let's go. And I start from the good. The tires prove to be quite efficient on a snowy road even without studs. Of course, I do not recommend to go on ice, but on snow it moves rather confidently. Then the bike itself sounds very decently. There is no any annoying trembling or dangling, everything keeps tight and silent. Few words about the weight. I didn't find it in specs, but it's felt like about 30 kilos. Quite a heavy thing, I should say, but it's an unusual feature for any electric fat bike, so I can't say it's good or bad for the bike. Now let's check the maximum speed. You probably can't see well, but according to the bike computer, its maximum speed is 25-30 km per hour. We should take into account that I am riding on a fresh snow, and it's harder for the bike to accelerate here. So I suppose we would have slightly higher speed on an asphalt road. And now I want to speak about what I don't like in this bike. Firstly, its performance is not so impressive, I should say, and the maximum speed 30 km per hour, it may be enough for my grandma, but too slow for me. Wait, just a second. Did you notice that we have a secret button on our remote controller? I think it's a turbo mode. Now I'll press it and we'll see. And our fat bike immediately turned into a real beast. It became so powerful that we even decided to do some burnout. Yeah. Lebron now is able to burn its tires even on snow. Just see it. Wow, it seems we have too much burnout here. Actually, after I pressed the button, everything didn't change. It was just a joke with burnout, to make this video not so dull as this bike. Yep, the bike is rather dull to my mind. It moves, but 350 watts motor is definitely not enough for winter riding. On the other hand, it's powerful enough to provide 30 km per hour on fresh snow, and I expect it to move significantly faster in summer. If 30 is suitable, this bike is for you. Otherwise, look for something different. Moreover, if you want to go faster on this bike, nobody keeps you from pedaling it itself. The maximum speed is higher, and it's not so cold to ride in winter. If battery is still alive, it's not so hard to pedal it, cause the motor helps greatly. But if it is empty, it's very tough to pedal it on snow. As we remember, Lebron is quite weighty bike. By the way, guys, don't you forget about Fatman. He seems to have finished his preparing for what he call real tests. And now he is ready to show us how to do it. But there is some little problem. Unfortunately, we had burnt all the battery by the moment, cause we had been riding for about 5 hours. But I think it's not a problem for a real pro. Here it is, Fatman. Though it seems it's tough to pedal it, even for Fatman. But as I've said, he is a real pro, so he finds the solution immediately. What a happy occasion that we have a gas generator with us. Let's mount it on a sled, get it started, and pull the cable to our Lebron. And it seems that we have just invented a real hybrid gas-electric fat bike. How do you like this, Elon? Seriously, we have only one more thing to speak about. It's the range. We checked it the other day, but there were very tough conditions for the bike, a lot of hills on the way, and the rider with about 100 kilos weight. All these things resulted that we got only 10 kilometers of range. Again, not so impressive. Well, it's time to sum it up. If this bike is worth its $500 price. On one hand, it's definitely not enough power and battery capacity for winter conditions. But on the other hand, it's very cheap and may suit you in summer, or if you don't need high speed and big range. Please post comments with your opinions, guys. What do you think of this bike? Do you like it or not? And now let's call it a day. Thanks for watching, please consider subscribing the channel if you like this video. It will be many more interesting materials here. Goodbye.
Куда вы?